Hello and welcome to House News. In this episode, we will present to you the latest information coming from the House of Representatives of Indonesia. Before we get started, let's see the headlines for today. BKSAP of the House organized a solidarity campaign for Palestinian independence. The movement included fundraising efforts and encouraged public contributions to support Palestine. Commission 10 of the House highlights one of the main issues with the school zoning system is the difference in education quality between schools. During the working visit, Commission 7 of the House emphasized the need for the industrial sector and SMEs to grow, become nationally recognized, and compete globally. The government's decision to raise the value-added tax in 2025 will not be changed, with Minister of Finance confirming the VAT rate will rise from 11% to 12% starting from January 1, 2025. Harapan Kita Heart and Vascular Hospital has become the first hospital in Indonesia to successfully perform heart surgery using robotic technology. BKSAP of the House, in collaboration with the Indonesian Philanthropic Women's Association, has provided clothing aid for the Palestinian people. This humanitarian support has been distributed through the AXA working group. Member of BKSAP of the House, Melly Guslau, emphasized this aid represents Indonesia's support for Palestine's independence. She highlighted as winter approaches, the Palestinian people are at risk of serious health problems. Many do not have proper shelter or warm clothes to protect them from cold weather, which makes them more vulnerable to illness. As a country with strong religious values and a firm stance against colonizations, supporting the Palestinian people reflects Indonesia's principles and commitment to justice. It is a way to uphold humanity and stand with those in need.
Betul-betul mengenai kemanusiaan. Jadi siapapun di antara kita yang memang merasa sebagai manusia ya harus berempati, harus membantu. Semua orang tetap menggaungkan Palestina, bukan hanya pada saat mereka dibombardir, tapi walaupun dalam saat gencatan senjata pun mereka tetap harus kita gaungkan gitu, kemanusiaan untuk Palestina. Dan mudah-mudahan Pak Prabowo seperti yang selalu beliau sampaikan siap untuk mengirim pasukan dari Indonesia untuk membantu Palestina, mudah-mudahan terwujud.
BKSAP of the House is committed to supporting the fight for Palestinian independence. This commitment is shown through active efforts in international forums and diplomatic relations. Additionally, solidarity events like the Run for Palestine serve as a way to raise awareness and show consistent support for the Palestinian people. BKSAP emphasized the Palestinian cause remains top priority for Indonesia due to the strong historical ties between the two nations. Andini and Teddy, TVR Parlemen reports. Commission 10 of the House reviewed the implementation of the independent learning policy in Bandung, West Java. Several challenges were identified, including limited facilities and uneven quality of education across schools. Chairpersons of Commission 10 of the House, Hetifah Syaifudian, explained the goal of the zoning system is to eliminate the perceptions of favorite schools. However, there are many obstacles remain, including disparities in school facilities, differences in teacher quality, transportation issues, and manipulations of address data. She urged the government to improve the national education system, especially by revising the zoning system for students' enrollment. Therefore, Commission 10 of the House will work on improving the law of national education system to address these issues.
Jadi barangkali nanti melalui satu revisi Undang-Undang Sistem Pendidikan Nasional, mana hal-hal yang belum terakomodir. Misalnya sekarang kita mau penerapan wajib belajar yang lebih panjang 13 tahun dengan 1 tahun ke bawah, yaitu prasekolah. Tentu nanti dimasukkan di dalam revisi undang-undang tersebut. Misalnya soal perlindungan guru atau hal-hal lain yang mungkin belakangan ini menjadi isu yang penting tapi belum terakomodir dalam peraturan.
Meanwhile, Vice Chairpersons of Commission 10 of the House, Himatul Aliyah, mentioned the zoning system and the independent learning curriculum are frequently criticized by the public.
As a result, Commission 10 will immediately evaluate these policies through a working meeting with the Minister of Primary and Secondary Educations to address the concerns and discuss potential improvements.
Jadi perlu dicarikan satu solusi yang memang berkeadilan, karena tidak semua sarana dan prasarana sekolah dengan kualitas guru yang merata di seluruh Indonesia. Nah, kemudian juga terkait dengan kurikulum Merdeka Belajar, juga mungkin tidak semua sekolah mampu melakukannya.
From Bandung, Koko Inugroho, TV Parlemen reports.
Commission 7 of the House encourages the growth of large companies such as PT Mondelez Indonesia Manufacturing as one of the well-known biscuit producers in Indonesia.
Chairpersons of Commission 7 of the House, Saleh Partawanan Daulay, emphasized the need to develop similar companies that are not only successful in the national market but also able to compete in the global market. Saleh stated the presence of the largest companies like Mondelez plays a role in creating job opportunities and supporting the national economy through export goods.
Jadi begini, kita kan sekarang sebetulnya bukan hanya karena persoalan Mondelez ini secara khusus yang diperhatikan oleh DPR, tapi ini adalah salah satu contoh yang kami datangi untuk kunjungan spesifik. Mengapa? Karena sekarang ini industri-industri seperti ini penting untuk kita kembangkan. Nah, kita tahu bahwa track recordnya Mondelez ini kan bagus karena dia sudah memproduksi biskuit yang tidak hanya dipasarkan secara nasional tetapi juga sudah mendunia, dan kita banyak menemukan produk-produk mereka seperti Oreo dan Ritz itu sangat diminati di banyak negara, dan kemudian kita juga ingin melihat success story dari perusahaan ini.
Furthermore, Saleh urged the government to transform from being a market for foreign products to a country that dominates the global market with domestic products. He hopes the government will support the development of large companies like Mondelez so they become stronger and more competitive internationally. From West Java, Aang Nugroho, TV Parlemen reports.
After the break, we will bring you the latest from the economic sector, only on House News. The proposal to raise the value-added tax to 12% in 2025 has attracted a lot of attention. The increase comes at a difficult time, and it could put more financial pressure on the consumers, especially with the rising cost of living. There are concerns that the tax increase will push prices higher, especially for goods and services.
Many Indonesians are struggling with economic uncertainty. Mass layoffs have affected tens of thousands of workers, especially after many food and beverage outlets closed and the textile industry slowed down. Even popular markets like Tanah Abang are feeling the effects of the economic slowdown. Many workers are losing their job and businesses are struggling due to decreased demand. The 12% VAT increase could negatively affect the country's economy. It is expected to cause prices increases, with consumer goods potentially rising by up to 5% and food and beverages by 3%. These changes could put additional pressure on people's finances and reduce spending. The tariff hike is mandated by Law No. 7 of 2021 on the harmonizations of tax regulations. However, Vice Chairperson of Commission 11, Muhammad Hekal, pointed out the policy should be paired with other government actions to prevent a significant drop in purchasing power, especially as inflation rises. He proposed reducing income tax could help ease the financial burden on people.
Setelah itu saya jajakin, memang waktu itu kan ada juga kompensasinya adalah penurunan PPh badan yang dari 25% menjadi 22%. Pemahaman saya memang kalau ada peningkatan PPN ini kan harus ada take and give-nya. Nah, take and give-nya adalah waktu itu penurunan PPh badan itu turun 3% dengan kompensasi PPN naik 2%. Supaya waktu itu nggak terlalu kaget dan bisa lebih lambat, lebih mudah diterima oleh masyarakat, dilakukannya bertahap dari 10% menjadi 11% pada tahun 2022 dan kemudian sekarang atau akan datang nih bentar lagi menjadi 12%.
Jadi pemerintah harus mencari alternatif lain supaya dampaknya ini tidak terlalu besar. Ya, walaupun naiknya 1%, karena harus menjaga juga dengan kenaikan 12% ini investor tidak lari, ya. Kedua, tidak ada PHK. Ketiga, daya beli masyarakat tidak semakin menurun. Kemudian permintaan terhadap barang dan jasa tidak semakin menurun. Nah, ini yang harus dijaga. Tentunya saya yakin pemerintah akan punya solusi terkait ini.
There are concerns that the 12% VAT increase could cause the middle class to fall into lower income groups, which would widen the gap between rich and poor. This potential shift in economic status could create greater social and economic inequality. As a result, many have urged the policy's implementations to be delayed.
Kelihatan sekali bahwa PPN 12% naik 1% itu memberikan dampak yang paling besar adalah kepada lapisan kelas bawah dan kelas menengah bawah. Kalau yang atas ya bantalan kapitalnya sudah tinggi sehingga dampaknya tidak akan terlalu besar. Tetapi yang bawah dan menengah bawah dampaknya akan besar sekali. Tapi kan undang-undang ini sudah diputuskan. Ya. Nah, tinggal apakah benar akan dilaksanakan 1 Januari 2025. Nah, sebenarnya kan ini bisa kalau pemerintah akan lebih bijak, pemerintah tanpa merubah undang-undang ya bisa menunda pelaksanaan ini paling tidak sampai ekonomi masyarakat di lapisan bawah dan menengah bawah ini sudah lebih membaik lah harapannya. Kalau enggak yang ditakuti adalah daya beli masyarakat menengah bawah dan bawah akan semakin turun, akibatnya kesenjangan sosial semakin besar.
The delay of the 12% VAT increase can actually be done without the need to change the existing regulations. According to Law No. 7 of 2021 on the harmonization of tax regulations, there is already a specific clause allowing the government to adjust VAT rates within a range from a minimum of 5% to a maximum of 15%. This adjustment can be made through a government regulations requiring discussions and approval from the Indonesian House of Representatives. This means changing the VAT rate is possible as long as the government has the political will and commitment to prioritize the welfare of the people.
After the break, we will have more information from the technology sector, only on House News. Harapan Kita Heart and Vascular Hospital has just made history in Indonesia's medical field by becoming the first hospital in the country to perform heart surgery using robotic technology. This step marks a milestone in health services offering advanced solution.
Taken from independent observers, Health Minister Budi Gunadi Sadikin, who personally witnessed the procedure, said the use of robotic technology in heart surgery presents significant advantages compared to conventional open heart surgery. The procedures, a bilateral coronary artery bypass graft, ASD repair, and beating heart, totally endoscopic coronary artery bypass were conducted. This marks a significant milestone for the hospital and Indonesia healthcare sector, showcasing the advancement made possible through the use of technology. With robotic technology, doctors can more easily access hard-to-reach areas of the heart, which previously required open surgical procedures. That way, recovery is faster. Patients can be discharged in 2 or 3 days and resume normal activities after a week. Previously, it took 5 to 7 days. In addition, the procedures is also faster because the chest does not need to be open, so the patients do not need to wait for long. In addition, the cost is cheaper. meaning it can be potentially covered by the Universal Health Insurance Scheme or BPJS Kesehatan. The robot-assisted surgery was led by Dudi Hanafi with a proctor from India who has experience doing the same operations in America, as well as the founder of Alliance Hospital in West Texas. 3 patients have received the procedures and another 5 are scheduled for this week. The patients are now in stable condition and can already do their normal activities.
Nintendo has announced something very different. This time, it is a mobile app called Nintendo Music, letting users listen to classic gaming tunes from Nintendo games. It has been launched on both iOS and Android.
Nintendo Music is a brand new app that brings Nintendo soundtracks to your smart devices. From the iconic beats of Super Mario Bros. And the grand soundscapes of The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, to the tentacle tapping tunes of Splatoon 3 and beyond. Exclusively for Nintendo Switch Online members at no additional cost, anyone with a membership can use the app to start their own musical tour through nearly 40 years of Nintendo history. With Nintendo Music, you can stream songs right from the app or download them to the app for offline listening. Search for song by game title, track name, playlist name, or even browse by screenshot. Need background music while you work or study? You can loop songs or extend select tracks to 15, 30, or 60 minutes for uninterrupted listening. No need to worry about game spoilers either, because you can filter out soundtracks that may spoil certain moments for you. Find your favorite songs and build personal playlists that you can share with others or browse curated playlists created by Nintendo. You will also receive recommendations based on your Nintendo Switch Play activity. More music will continue to be added to the app, so be sure to keep an ear out.
Computer science used to be a field only for tertiary education, but now it is becoming widely adopted for primary and secondary school curriculums. Many countries start to introduce coding as a foundation skill alongside reading, writing, and arithmetics.
To prepare for the digital era, a proposal has been made to include coding and artificial intelligence in the Indonesian curriculum for elementary and junior high schools. Several countries have already integrated coding and artificial intelligence into their school curriculums. Here's a closer look at these pioneers. India's national education policy has emphasized integrating digital literacy, coding, and computer science into its curriculum since 2020, beginning in the 6th grade. Computer programming is also offered as an extracurricular activity after school hours. This approach has successfully produced a large number of skilled programmers due to a detailed curriculum focusing on digital problem solving. As a result, many leading global tech companies have established development centers in India. Since 2016, Japan's Ministry of Education has planned for computer programming to become a mandatory subject in elementary and junior high schools. Prior to this, cities like Koga in Ibaraki Prefecture and Takeo in Saga Prefecture had introduced programming lessons in elementary schools through collaborations with companies and volunteers. Report shows that these initiatives increase students' interest in learning. Coding has been a compulsory subject for 4th to 6th grade elementary school students in Singapore since 2020, taught through a program initiated by the Ministry of Education and the Infocom Media Development Authority. The subject is called Code for Fun. During its initial implementations, students were required to take this program for 10 hours per academic year. Previously, coding was an optional subject introduced in 2014 covering AI and cybersecurity topics. The government stated technology education aims to instill computational thinking, which is foundational to coding.
And that's House News for today. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.